the host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dom. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another fabulous episode of Based on a True Story podcast. As always, rate, comment, subscribe, share this with a friend, family, as well as a follower. Let's get this channel lit in the YouTube algorithm. You heard me. All right, so real quick story time. Story time, story time, story time. This story, this is going to be titled When Your Idols Become Rivals. When your idols become rivals. Okay, so peep this. Okay, so, I'm in it, my YouTube is popping. I'm doing real good on YouTube. I'm making content on a constant, consistent basis. And the one thing I did content on was stuff that was trending in the YouTube community. And the thing at that particular time that was popping in the YouTube community was car vlogs. Everybody was doing vlogs around their car, about their cars, car reviews, things of that nature. That was really popping. I said this was like maybe 5 years ago, possibly. Like the Mr. Organics, Tall Guy Review, CJ, all of them, was doing car content on a constant, consistent basis. SG, a lot of people was doing car content. Okay. And I wanted to get in on it, but I didn't want to, you know, do car vlogs around my car because at that particular time I didn't have those exotic cars that like these guys are having, or these luxury cars these guys were talking about. And I just didn't have the capability to do car reviews because you have to really get a hookup from a car dealership that's going to allow you to review cars. Okay, so I did the next best thing. I started reviewing the content creators that were doing these car vlogs, and I would make videos and talked about what they talked about on an episode and share my thoughts and opinions about it. I was blowing up. Those videos, it started off, I was getting like 200 views, 500 views, and then I started getting like 1,000 plus views. I would do live streams. That was, it, that that was the era where it was popping because everybody uh, couldn't get enough of content creators talking about their cars or car vlogs and things of that nature. So that was popping. So that's how I got in the game, is by doing that. So I still remember, it was like, I did a live stream and I talked about Mr. Organic. I talked about Mr. Organic. Uh, I wasn't like the other guys that talk about Mr. Organic, talk about, how corny he is or this, that, and the third. I only talked about the videos, Mr. Organic's videos, and what I thought about the videos and what he said in the videos. I didn't go as far as dissecting his personality. Is he a good guy or not? Because there was a lot of people that was doing, there was a lot of content creators that was doing that type of content. And I felt like, hey, look, I want to be authentic. I'm not that type of person that, you know, going to be hating on somebody, crapping on somebody, particularly if I'm talking about this individual and I'm making content and I'm getting my views just talking about this particular content creator. I wasn't going to ish on anybody like that. It's just not in my character. It's just not in my nature. Okay, so I did a live stream. I was talking about Mr. Organic, and I was talking about Tall Guy Review. And there was this girl who came in the live stream. I'm not gonna say her name. Um, and she came from the CJ on 32 crowd. Okay. And she said she watches CJ, she watches Mr. Organic, she watches Tall Guy. She was naming off other car content creators. She was, hooking me up on that because there was a lot of other car content creators I didn't even know about. So occasionally she'll be hitting my lives, commenting, through the live, or just commenting right after the live in the comment section. She was super chat. You know, on the outside looking in, I didn't know too much about her, but I thought she was a cool person. Okay, I didn't, think anything less of her. Okay, I just didn't know a lot about her, but I knew she was very passionate about car content. Okay, and about car vlogs, because she said she had her own YouTube channel, and that's what she mainly do is do car vlogs and car content. Plus, she's a model. Okay, that's even better. She's like a car model. Okay, so I went over there and checked out her channel. I checked out some of her content. Uh, you know, I like her content. So whenever she would upload something, I would make sure to go watch the content and make sure I like it and share it with everyone else. Like, hey, look, man, y'all need to check out this lady. She's doing, she's a content creator. She talks about cars, and she's very passionate about it. Hey, if you're passionate about cars, why not subscribe to her? So I would, every time I do a live stream or every time I do a video, I would promo her. I would tell people, hey, go check out this girl's channel. She's amazing about, the ins and out of cars. Plus, she's a model, this, that, and the third. And she appreciated it. Okay, she really did appreciate it. It be sometimes we'll be talking in the comment section, or she would DM me or I would DM her, and she would ask, okay, give me, ask for my suggestions about certain things. Okay, and I had no issue, telling her all that. Okay, so we started off pretty cool. You dig what I'm saying? No issues, no hiccups along the way, or nothing like that. So then I started maneuvering from the car content because it was oversaturated, and plus it wasn't as hot or popping like it was. Okay, so as a content creator on YouTube, you got to move away from the situation before the situation moves from you, and then now you're stuck in the middle. You don't know what you're gonna do. So I quickly shifted from talking about car vlogs, content creators that have cars and reviewing cars. I went into reviewing OnlyFans models. Now I'm gonna tell you why I did. I'm gonna tell you that in a few seconds. So I switched off. I switched into another lane. And then she messaged me like, hey, you're no longer doing recaps on the guys that's doing car content. And I told her, I said no, because it done fell off. Not a lot of people are digging this type of that type of content. Plus, it's oversaturated, and I think the audience is dwindling. So I want to get ahead of it and get out of that, because nobody's not talking about that stuff no more. So she said, okay, I'm going to continue to talk about it. All right. And I wish her the best of luck. I still, F with her. I still watched her videos. That's not stopping me from doing that. And I had no problem doing stuff like that for her. But like I said, I went into a new lane. Okay. So she's doing the car content, and I'm reviewing girls OnlyFans stuff, because the reason why I was reviewing the OnlyFans stuff, I had the plug. I had a guy that I met on social media that had access to a lot of these OnlyFans models' accounts. Apparently, he promotes these girls, but a lot of these girls don't have the funding to constantly get promoted. All right, so they will hook them up with some free content, as well as paying them on the side. So he would tell me, look, I will give you the password, and you can see whoever you wanted to see. So I'm going like, okay, I don't have no issue with it. That's going to even make me, I said to myself, now I'm really going to review these OnlyFans models, okay? So I started reviewing them. I started popping and blowing up on every video about, these OnlyFans models. And I would tell guys, hey, this is my review of this account. I would tell you to buy it. I would tell you not to buy it, but I would just tell you what's in all these girls' content, because a lot of these girls, and I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them. Sometimes a lot of their, their accounts is not what they say is in there. It's not. It's either not a lot of content, or the content's not that good, or they false advertising what. Well, because once you put your debit card in and you subscribe for a month, you're stuck like Chuck with it. You're stuck with it for the whole month. Okay, so I was giving a lot of guys who was into that OnlyFans stuff, I was giving them the game. I was telling them, I said, hey, these are the accounts you should F with. These are the ones I would stay away from. These are the ones, here are the ones that is worth the money. And here are the ones like, hey, maybe they should do a discount or do a sale or whatever, okay? So I was doing that, and I was popping with that, okay? Because look, a lot of people don't realize on YouTube, a lot of men watch YouTube. The majority of your audience is gonna be males. It's gonna be young males, but males in general. Okay. I'm not saying females don't watch YouTube, but they don't watch it as much at that particular time. Now it probably has changed. Okay. But at that particular time, more men was on YouTube than females. So that even made this transition even better for me. So I'm cranking out videos, doing live streams. I'm getting the bag. I mean, I'm actually making more money doing the OnlyFans reviews than I was ever doing with the car content stuff. Okay, so I'm telling the girl that I met from the car content section. I'm like, hey, you need to really be trying to review these OnlyFans models accounts, because I'm popping over here. And I said, check this out. You're a female. You are a model. You're going to really blow up if you do this. Okay. Because I'm telling you, I'm getting crazy views. The checks are coming in on a regular, and I'm having no issues about it. Because she was asking me questions like, hey, YouTube is family friendly. Are they demonetizing your content? This, that, and the third, the ad play. Well, what about super chats and things of that nature? The super chats were low. They was lower than when I was doing reviews on the content creators that have cars. It was low on that point as far as super chats go, but the videos were making the money, even with the ad play. I'm going like, hey, you do the math. The math is mathing. If you do 3 videos a day, okay, every day, you're gonna make a good piece. You're gonna make a good piece of change doing this. Okay, so I was trying to give her the game. She was still on the car content, but then she got into a point where she got tired of it because the views were not hitting like they used to. She started getting low views, this, that, and the third. So, I have TikTok and I also have Twitter. And she would DM me on Twitter as well as TikTok. Whichever account I was on, she had access to DM me. So she was, asking me questions about doing the OnlyFans reviews. And I'm saying, yeah, I'm making this money. A lot of these OnlyFans models, typed in their name, found out that I was doing OnlyFans reviews for them. I started getting a connection with a lot of these OnlyFans models. They were going like, no one has ever done that for them to give them free promo. They appreciated my reviews of it. Even the ones that I felt like the account, it just not a lot there, or I wasn't, real hype about this particular account. They like the criticism. They saying, hey, look, I appreciate you. I know you wasn't interested into my account, but I appreciate you and I appreciate the effort. Hey, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on that. Check it out a little bit later. Okay. I would get those type of messages. And, there was a few females that wasn't even feeling it. Even if I gave it a good review, a lot of them wasn't feeling it. Like, hey, I didn't ask for this. And, it's a mixed bag. You don't know what type of outcome you're gonna get from these girls, but the majority of them was cool with it, okay? And a lot of them have YouTube accounts. Okay, so when I found that they had YouTube accounts, I would type their YouTube account in the title or in the description so people can, not only subscribe to them on OnlyFans, but they can also subscribe to them on their YouTube. That, they was double dipping. I was Miss Trigger Happy. She even followed me on X because of my OnlyFans review. She liked my review. On my first Twitter account, that one got hacked, but that's another time for another story. Okay, so a lot of them was really appreciative of what I was, bringing to the table. Okay, so I was telling her, I'm saying like, yeah, I'm getting all this praise. A lot of them like this. So then she started saying, hey, I wonder if you can make money on OnlyFans. I'm like, well, I think, she was asking me, what do you think? You think I can make money on OnlyFans? And I was telling her, with your body and you used to be a model, I mean, I don't see why not. I don't see why you can't make money on OnlyFans. She was talking about she want to do abstract art, like it's half nudity. It's like soft corn. Okay, she wasn't gonna do nothing heavy like a sex scene or anything like that, but she was gonna do, explicit pictures and videos and things of that nature. I'm saying, why not? You might catch a few simps that want to sign up for your OnlyFans. So I asked her, I said, hey, whenever you get your OnlyFans going, do you want me to do a review on it? Do you want me to promote it? And she was down with it. She said, yeah, of course. Okay, so cool. So it's like a month, 2 months later, she messaged me back saying, hey, I got an OnlyFans account. She gave me the link. She also gave me free access to her OnlyFans account. So I'm up there watching it. It was pretty good. It was for the money she was asking for and the content that she had on there. I thought it was pretty good. Okay. It was no corn scenes. It was just explicit content. Okay. It was like feed content, nudity type content, things of that nature. Okay. It was more of an abstract type of feel to it. Okay. So I did a review on it. I told her, I said, I'm gonna do a video on your OnlyFans. Okay. Like I said, she's down with it. Okay. So I said, do you want me to promote it? She said, yes. I said, I'm gonna promote it on my Instagram. I'm gonna promote it on my YouTube, and I'm gonna promote it on X. Is that okay? She's saying yes. Okay. So I'm up here promoting it. I'm not asking for no money. I'm not, asking for no free access. I'm not doing none of that stuff. Okay. So I'm going like, hey, y'all go check out my girl. She has an OnlyFans. This, that. Okay. Now in her bio, she says that. Thanks for the thumbs up. In her bio, she says that she has a boyfriend, but her boyfriend does not know that she has an OnlyFans. So I'm thinking that she's trying to hook him in, like, because she had a little wink at the end, keep my secret, okay? So I'm going like, okay, cool. I'm thinking that she's, just, playing it up for the people out there that's interested in subscribing to her, okay? So I'm up here promoting her on Twitter, promoting her on Instagram, and promoting her on YouTube. Okay, I even done a video on it. All right. So a couple of days after that, after I promoted her and did the video and stuff, she started acting kind of funny. I didn't understand why she was acting funny. Because she was sending cryptic messages like, damn, you done blew up the spot. Now everybody know I got an OnlyFans. And I'm going like, well, isn't that the point? Because I asked you a couple of days ago, is it okay for me to promote you? And it's okay for me to promote you on these platforms. You had no issue with it. Okay. So apparently, from her retrospect, she was really blowing up on OnlyFans. I mean, really blowing up to the point where people were subscribing to her that know her personally. All right. That know her personally. And I guess she got kind of embarrassed by it, that, people that, know her, know that she has an OnlyFans, okay? Which, I didn't know that, people that are subscribed to her on her YouTube channel are her actual friends. So they found out she has an OnlyFans. So I guess she got a little embarrassed by it, but she's messaging me real cryptic. So I messaged her back like, hey, if this was not cool, if this is not right, then you should have maybe have told me not to promote you or even do a review on your OnlyFans. If you want to keep it on the DL, you don't want nobody to know. Well, why would you want me to promote it? Okay. Now, that ain't even the cold part. She was making real good money on OnlyFans. I mean, real good money. Not no money that she can retire from her job, but she was making some real good bread on it. But at the same time, she was kind of embarrassed that a lot of people know that she has an OnlyFans, okay? So, everything, after the cryptic messages, a month later, she's messaging me back that, I was hot one month and I'm no longer hot anymore. I done lost half of my subscribers. So I'm saying, okay, so do you want me, or do you want me to promote you? Maybe if you do a sale, I can promote the sale, okay? But, let me know if this is okay, if you down with this, okay? So she says, yes, I'm down with it, okay? So she told me how she told me to sell. She told me what to say, and I'm up there promoting her heavy. Now on TikTok, I have this thing on TikTok, and it's called the Thirst Trap video. And basically, what it is me like looking like it's like I have a female's picture in the background, and it's me, thirsting for her. I'm drooling and sweating and all this. It's meant to be funny, all right? And I did this for Sapphire Ruby Red. So when I did it for her, she liked it because I got a lot of views on that on TikTok, okay? And she commented saying, "Hey, I like that. That's keep doing it because that's kind of cool, okay? Because it got attention for her and got traffic for her account and all that jazz. So I said, okay, this must be I can work with this, okay? So I tried it with other females and they liked it as well. So I told her, I said, hey, I could do. Remember the videos I used to do with the females with their picture in the background, and I'm just lurking at us, just sweating, just thirsty. It was called the Thirst Trap. Okay, I said, do you want me to do that for you? Okay, I didn't get a response from her. All right, so now I will say I will take the onus on me. So when I didn't hear nothing from her, I just went on, did the video anyway. Man, video blew up. Okay, it went viral. All right, for like 6 hours, it was going viral. Then when I go back to my TikTok account, my video got flagged. It didn't tell me who flagged the video, but now you can't even see the video no more. So I'm messaging her going like, hey, that video I did for you, it went viral and, and everything's all good. And now when I check it again, somebody done flagged it. So do you want me to redo another video for you? So she immediately takes back saying no. And she used capital words. I guess she was yelling at me, and it just seems like then she kept saying, just leave me alone. I mean, we were saying a lot of stuff, but then she said, well, just leave me alone. Call me I'm acting weird. Okay. So I'm like, all right, so if she thinks I'm weird, I'm gonna just let it go. I'm not gonna say nothing to her. Okay. So she unsubscribed to me off of TikTok. All right. So it's like 2 months later, I ain't said nothing to her in 2 months. I don't even like her pictures. I don't do none of that stuff. All right. 2 months later, she texts me out of the blue talking about, hey, I noticed you ain't been liking my pictures, you ain't been watching my videos. And I said, well, there's a reason behind that, because the last time we spoke, it seemed like you was mad at me for doing that video on TikTok. And I believe that you flagged the video, even though you're not going to own up to it. You flagged the video, and all you had to do was just message me and say, hey, look, I don't think that video is cool. Take it down. I would have taken it down. And she was making some excuse like, oh, well, I was going through some stuff, this, that, and talking about her boyfriend saw the video and he didn't think it was appropriative and things of that nature. You know, I didn't argue with her. I just said, okay, well, if I would have, like I said, if something is inappropriate from my behalf, all you have to do is just tell me, like, hey, I don't think that's cool. Take it down. I would have taken it down. And the only reason why I did that video anyway, for you to get some promo. But if you didn't like the video, all you had to do is tell me to take it down. All right. So then she said, yeah, I know I blocked you on TikTok, but I unblocked you. And I told her, I unsubscribed from you. She said, well, since I unblocked you, can you come back to my TikTok and start liking some of my posts, because I'm not getting a lot of love from everybody. And I said, I'm good. I mean, I'm good where I'm at right now. It seems like, you're good where you at as well. Okay. And I just left it like that. She sent me another message saying, well, if you interested, you can always come back. I'm already subscribed to your channel. All you gotta do is subscribe to my channel. And I just left that hanging. In the air, because to me, she's starting to act weird. Okay. Because to me, I'm feeling like, hey, look, you could have just told me all this, that you didn't feel comfortable doing it, or your boyfriend is upset about it. And you would have just told me straight up. I would have understood, and I would have, I would have just simply just took the video down. So I haven't talked to her since then. But yeah, that's pretty much it to rivals becoming idols. Okay, I hope you learned something from this. I hope this was very entertaining for you. As always, I really do appreciate you guys liking the live streams, liking the content, subscribing to the channel. I really do appreciate that from my bottom of my heart. It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast. I'm coming to you guys live from Ghost to Ghost. It's your boy, I'm Chris the Dime One. I will holler at you at another time, at another place. I holla. Deuces. Deuces, people. Whoa. Let's check the messages. Okay. Jade says hi. I'm saying hi right back. Hi, hater. Now, it's a song called Hi, Hater. Mario, I think his name Mario. He's singing that. Hi, hater. But I'm not saying that you're a hater, okay? But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gone. Deuce.